right, time for recruiting. We got Otis Kirk in here, and of course he's doing some great stuff on Hogville for us. Otis, let's start with some key prospects who are going to play this week. This is going to be a big and, as always, busy week for you. But let's talk in terms of Thursday, Joe T. Robinson, Zach Williams at Springdale. How about that one?
It'd be a chance to see one of the first commitments for the Razorbacks play. Zach is a kid that's going to play defensive end, you know, outside linebacker. Ricky Williams' son. I'm really looking forward to that. I watched Huddle on all those kids, and he was a kid that just really jumped off at this film at me. I mean, he's really got a chance to be a great player at Arkansas. I mean, I remember his dad played here. His dad was in that group with Keith Jackson when they came out of Parkview over there and stuff, and Anthony Chambers. But I think Zach's got a chance to be, he's certainly not just riding his dad's name. He's going to make a name for himself, and his dad was a great player, but I think Zach's got an equally good chance to be a great player as well.
Okay, you're not going to stop there this week. You got another stop along the way in terms of the high school ranks. Friday, Hudson Henry at Springdale. It'll be Springdale Harbor. What about Hudson and just kind of his progress?
Well, you know, Hudson's, of course, Mark Henry's son, Hunter, and Hayden's little brother, or he's their little brother, but he's a tight end, and he's got a chance to be, some people say he's going to be better than Hunter, but I'll have to see that to believe it. He is good. He's real good, but to be better than Hunter, he'd have to be outstanding. So we'll see if he's better than Hunter, but he, you know, Hudson's got a chance in college to do things that Hunter did as well. And he's got 5 favorites. You know, Arkansas and Stanford are obviously 2 of those schools. And I think, you know, that's probably, he's going to go to one of those. I still think he's going to be a Razorback, but time will tell on that.
Yeah, that's saying a lot, considering Hunter Henry in 2015 really made the headlines.
Yeah, he did.
Obviously a Mackey Award winner and a guy who's now with the Chargers. Okay, let's talk about Saturday. You're going to be at Warren, it sounds like. You're going to be following the guys from Warren. That is Traylon Burks, Marcus Miller versus Southside Batesville. Yeah,
that game, if anyone's interested, will be at North Little Rock at noon. There is a game earlier in the day there, but they play the noon game. And that's, you know, the last game that Warren played, official game, was in War Memorial Stadium. Was in Little Rock, and they lost that game. So you know they're going to be ready to go back to North Little Rock and get this season started off on a good foot. Traylon Burks, I tell you what, I came out with the Arkansas commitment rankings I did myself this week. I had him a 5-star. I think if he just played wide receiver at some school and he played in the passing, well, he plays in the passing offense, but Bo Henry has to use him, you know, wherever he has to win games. That's what high school coaches do. But if Traylon Burks, in my opinion, is as good as any wide receiver in the nation, I think he's big time. And I will say this, going back to Hudson real quick, I think he's the best tight end in the country. He'll be another 5-star when I do the prospects. But Traylon Burks is just unbelievable. Speed, size, he's got it all. Then Marcus Miller on the defensive line, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. He's a kid that didn't have maybe as much video as, you know, some people have on there, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing him play in a game and get a better look at him. I think he's going to be outstanding, though.
Yeah, some big-time names to look for here in the future. Now let's switch gears and talk about, speaking of the future, a 2021 class. It sounds like it's shaping up to have really good potential. A couple names I'll throw out here right off the top of the list: Aaron Otley, Landon Rogers, Mason Brotherton.
Yeah, you know, Otley's from Parkview, Little Rock Parkview. But he's a kid that's he's a tight end, defensive end, and he's got Landon Rogers, you know, the quarterback there. They play at Parkview together, team up on some passes and stuff. But and then Mason Brotherton's from Mena, my old hometown, and Mason's outstanding. I mean, 6'4", 230, young kid that's right now suffered a broken wrist and is out, going to miss the first 3 games of the season. Didn't play against Magnolia in the benefit game Friday night, but he's going to be a player certainly for everyone to watch from Mena in the next 2 years after this one, this year and 2 more. But yeah, you know, and then Braylon Bishop is a quarterback athlete down at Ashdown who's committed to Dave Van Horn play outfield, and he's a left-handed pitcher too. He plays for the Arkansas Sticks, the team that Connor Nolan, a lot of baseball players played on. He plays summer ball with them. And then, you know, Jacoby Williams is another kid from Ashdown, a cornerback that that I know the coach there Coach Richardson really likes him, thinks he's got a chance to be special too. The Haywood kid down at, Chris Haywood down at Foreman is a kid that I mean, he's a defensive end, about 6'4", 240. He's one to watch, and Foreman is a school that maybe you think of doesn't turn out that many prospects, but watch Chris Haywood the next 3 years, because he's going to, a lot like Mason Brotherton. Meenum doesn't have that many D1. This kid's going to be D1, and so is Brotherton, and most of these kids on this list, you know. So there's some, and then got Colin James down at Dumas, the running back. Got a lot of speed, got some good size, about 200 pounds, got a lot of speed, and he's another one. Dumas, that's a school that's turned out some guys that's come to
Johnny
Arkansas.
Gibson?
Yeah, Johnny Gibson, you know, Will Gregg played there. Of course, he's not here now, but he was, and then, you know, through the years there's been other kids from there, Landon Lambert and a bunch of kids. So he's somebody to watch, and very fast running back.
And the other thing about the DB position, nice to see Ashdown still pumping those guys out in terms of some good talent, because he already got Monteric Brown here at Arkansas.
Yeah, and yeah, they do. And it's just, I asked them one day, what's in the water there with the defensive backs at Ashdown, and you've got the wide receivers at Warren? I mean, it's like it's a factory or something. I mean, they're turning out those, it's just a lot of good athletes in those two towns.
Okay, we want to segue here and talk about something we're going to do that's a new part of our recruiting segment each week, and that is we'll take some questions via Hogville and kind of get a little more insight in terms of, you know, what people are thinking as far as Arkansas recruiting. Got one here, hopefully I'm saying this correctly, but it's Parallax Pig with this question. Is the Alabama game the next big recruiting weekend, and if so, do you have a tentative list of recruits who will be there?
Yeah, that is the next really big weekend. Now, they'll have some kids at the first game, but, you know, they've got about 8 coming in that week on official visit. The 2 Warren kids will be there that we just talked about. The 3 kids from Mansfield Legacy, you know, Carter, Jackson, and Catalan. And then, of course, Ivory Winters, committed to Indiana, a running back. He's going to be there that weekend. Eric Gregory from Braden IMG Academy. And then a kid that we've talked about some on this show, but Tim Anderson, an offensive lineman from Saddleback College, he's coming in, and he's an offensive tackle, about 6'5", Drew, and he's one to watch. And Arkansas is going to try to get a commitment, you know, from him. Louisville and some other schools are in the mix there. He's got probably 8, 9, 10 offers, but Arkansas, I think, is in pretty good shape with him, and he's a kid they need because they've got to get some numbers here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, another question here coming from LFC Hog. The rash of injuries to our offensive linemen this preseason has exposed how thin we are on the O-line. How many linemen do you think we will end up signing, and who are the O-linemen committed to the Hogs so far? Okay.
Bo Limmer from Robert E. Lee and Tyler, Texas, is committed to Arkansas. Joseph Stone, he's actually moved to Gulf Breeze, Florida. So he was from Alabama, but now those are the 2 commitments. As far as how many they will sign, right now I would say 4 to 5, minimum 4, and they would take 5 if they can get the right 5.
Absolutely. Okay.
They need them. I agree with the question. You know, they need the offensive linemen.
I think we could universally agree on that one. All right, Wild Hog to close here. Are there any other in-state O-linemen that could potentially earn an offer with a big senior season, if not preferred walk-ons?
Yeah, and we talked about Logan Callison from Shiloh Christian on here. He's a kid that's got a preferred walk-on offer for the offensive line, probably 6'4", 295. And then, of course, Andrew Vest from Searcy is a kid that I like. He's committed to UCA right now. Big kid, probably 6'6", 295 or so, 6'7". He's very big. I've talked to his sister, goes to the University of Arkansas, and Vest is committed to UCA, but if Arkansas offered him, I think they'd have a chance. I don't think he's like a preferred walk. I don't think he'd be interested in that, and he is a midterm graduate. He's got an outstanding grade point and ACT score. But those are the kids in the in-state, the offensive linemen that I like. Callison does have a preferred walk-on offer, and I think they've got a good chance at him.
All right, there you have it. Ask Otis, our new segment here on our recruiting report from the Pig Trail. Thanks much, Otis.
Thanks, man.
He's doing a really nice job there, writing some articles for us on Hogville. Back with more after this.